NASCAR has a Daytona for the regular season finale where we see a chaotic race at Daytona and see a usual suspect on the super speedways score the victory. What's going, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. I just got done watching the Coke Zero Sugar 400 from Daytona National Speedway, and I will have to say that this race was absolutely fantastic from start to finish. We're going to go ahead and talk about the race overall. So before the green flag dropped in today's race, Kyle Larson, Corey LaJoie, Joey Gase, Kaz Gralla would all go to the rear for inspection failures, and Michael McDowell and Anthony Alfredo would go to the rear of the field for deck lid extension violations, and also their crew chiefs would get ejected. Because of this, with Kyle Larson going to the rear, William Byron would lead on the outside, and Denny Hamlin would lead on the inside. And William Byron's actually able to get the race lead and lead for a little bit. Then Denny Hamlin got a really, really big run. He was actually able to pass William Byron for the race lead. Then William Byron was able to get the lead back for a little bit. And then we got to see, and we also at this point saw one of the first moves and crazy moves happen where Ross Chastain got pushed by Denny Hamlin. Ross Chastain saved that somehow. Almost thought we were going to have the big one right there at that point, but he's able to save it. And then he had to have to come down pit road to basically change tires. And then eventually Chase Elliott was able to get the race lead. And then the caution would come out for the competition yellow in the race. And then we would keep going. And then actually, during that caution, Michael McDowell, who we thought was going to be a throw potential top 20 or even a contender for the win tonight, Michael McDowell, unfortunately, had an engine let go, and unfortunately, he would follow the race and would finish last in tonight's event. We'd have Chase on the inside and Cole Custer on the outside, as those guys had decided to basically take no tires. They decided to only take fuel, and Chase Elliott was able to get the race lead. And Chase was actually able to get the lead. Then Chase would actually have to drop back a little bit, and we would get behind, I believe it was Austin Dillon, and then Joey Logano was actually able to get the race lead. And he was able to keep the race lead. And then we would see basically some field strategy, of course, happen then. And we actually would see a caution come out, but think for Kyle Busch winning off of turn 4, and Chase Elliott actually would win stage 1 here at Daytona. Actually, he'll have a hard charge in Austin to win stage 1. And then all the leaders would come down pit road to take 4 tires. Then we go back racing on lap 56 with Chase Elliott on the inside and Mark Truex Jr. on the outside, and Chase Elliott was able to get the race lead. And we would see Chris Ball actually get a huge run, about 15 laps in this run, and get around Mark Truex Jr. And Mark Truex Jr. had to fall back because he had debris on his grill, and the engine was getting really, really hot, so he would have to drop back. And then during the commercial, for whatever reason, during a full screen commercial for NBC, there was a stack up that happened, I think about 4th or 5th. I think Corey LaJoie and I think someone else basically had stacked up. And Eric Almirola basically spun up, and I think he had issues as well. Alex Bowman also got involved, and Anthony Alfredo would get involved. And also Denny Hamlin, who was vying to win the regular season championship tonight, he would get some damage on the splitter as well. We would see some cars decide to only take fuel in the restart. Guys like Kevin Harvick, William Byron, Kaz Gralla, making sure they top off on the pit field, while the rest of the guys decided to stay out. So you had Joey Logano on the inside and Chris Bell on the outside. Joey Logano was able to keep the race lead and basically dominate up to this point. And actually, Ryan Blaney was able to eventually get up to Joey Logano for a little bit. They stay single file and train race for a little bit. Basically, be patient, of course. But Ryan Blaney, we got the lead for a little bit. And then Joey Logano was able to get the race lead, and he would come off the corner and win stage 2. So far, Denny Hamlin had picked up 9 points in stage 1. He was vying for the regular season championship, but Kyle Larson made up 6 of those points. So coming into the final stage, it was going to be about a 25-point gap for Denny Hamlin that he was going to overall have to make up if he was going to try to win it. We would basically see all the leaders come down pit road, with William Byron, Kevin Harvick taking 2 tires, and then a few people decided to take only fueling, and then the rest of the cars decided to take 4 tires to get track position. On the restart, you have William Byron on the outside with Denny Hamlin on the inside, and then Kevin Harvick actually gave a really, really good push to Denny Hamlin. Then a few laps later, Kevin Harvick got around Denny Hamlin, and then eventually, Joey Logano actually got around Denny Hamlin to actually take the race lead. And then we would see staying green for a little bit, and then Ross Chastain was actually able to get the race lead. Then, with 38 laps to go in the race, we start seeing some strategy end up taking place, where we see all the Fords decide to come down pit road. All the Fords like Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, all the other Fords, they decided to come down pit road, and the Chevys and the Toyotas decided to stay out. And then we would basically see some Bubba Wallace actually a lot of this point as well. He and Ross Chastain really, really putting on a show for the race lead, and they're able to keep it. And the question was, when were these guys going to go ahead and come down pit road? Well, the opportunity really never came. So with 20 laps to go in the race, we would see the Rick Ware cars unfortunately have problems. I think Garrett Phillips said they had a tire going down. Unfortunately, collected his teammates of Cody Ware and Joey Gase, bringing out the caution with 20 laps to go in the race. Basically, all the Fords that had pitted about 20 laps early, they decided to stay out while all the other drivers came down pit road. And we saw all the Hendrick cars decide to take 4 tires on the pit stop, while the other cars decided to take fuel only. With 16 laps to go, you had Joey Logano on the outside, with Ryan Blaney on the inside, and they were able to get the race lead. And then with 14 laps to go, the first big one was strike in this race. Basically, there was a little bit of a stack up behind, and in Mark Truex Jr., there was stack up, I think, in second or third, up in the front. And then, unfortunately, a lot of cars got involved. Mark Truex Jr. got into ran it back by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I think Ross Chastain been the one checked up. He got into back turn by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and collected drivers like William Byron, Alex Holman. Tyler Reddick also got involved. Stenhouse got involved. Chase Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, Lennon Castle, and Anthony Alfredo all got involved in the wreck. Tyler Reddick, who was a playoff contender driver, was looking to make the playoffs. He would get some damage, and he was able to continue on. And meanwhile, at that time, there was electrical issues going on for Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon was having issues with his batteries. He was able to still continue on, and they tried to get it fixed during that caution. And the red flag would come out for a little bit to clean up the field and stuff. Tyler Reddick tried to continue on, but basically he would have to stop. Then we would go basically keep going with 10 laps to go. We would go back racing with Joey Logano on the outside and Ryan Blaney inside. Joey Logano actually got the race lead for a few laps, and then Chris Buescher actually got a really, really big run, and he was able to get the race lead. And then with 4 laps to go, the next major moment ended up happening. Joey Logano, who was battling potentially to win this race, had one of the best cars. Unfortunately, he had a flat tire up in third and got into the outside wall. No caution came out for that. He came down pit road, but we stayed green. Then chaos started ensuing. Yeah, Matt DiBenedetto basically tried to challenge for the lead, got a huge, huge run, was making really, really aggressive moves. Then he had Chase Elliott, who put through a really, really big block. And then with 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps to go, this is where all hell breaks loose. Matt DiBenedetto gets into the back of Chase Elliott. They get a really, really big run, and everything basically starts, and they all check up. Then Hamlin gets in the back of them. They get into the outside wall, and then a lot of drivers would get involved in the crash. A big one basically strike. This would be the biggest strike to happen till the end of the race. Drivers like Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Chris Bell, Matty D, Ryan Preece, Cole Custer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Alex Holman all end up getting involved in the accident. Now, some of these guys would still continue on, and Denny Hamlin, of course, would basically lose an opportunity to go for the regular season championship cup. He's also got damage in the restart as well. And then we will once again go racing for the final time. This would be the final restart with Chris Buescher on the outside, who was looking to go for it, and Ryan Blaney second on the inside. And Ryan Blaney got a really, really good restart. Really, really incredible push by Corey LaJoie, and did a really, really awesome job and was able to keep the race lead. But then everything started getting really, really crazy as it came to the white flag. We would see Kevin Harvick make a really, really big push. Daniel Suarez was also starting to make a really big move. You had Kurt Busch, who was up there as well. And then this is where all hell basically would end up breaking loose. Daniel Suarez gets turned by Kurt Busch and collects Kevin Harvick and wrecks a ton of cars in the race. Many, many drivers ended up being involved in the accident. Drivers like Kyle Larson, I think Ryan Preece got some damage in that wreck. Basically, the big one happened there. Kurt Busch, Ross Chastain got damaged in that. A lot of drivers would end up getting damaged in that crash. And this would basically be where the race would end. And the caution would come out on the last lap. And coming off the corner, Ryan Blaney would be able to hang on and pick up his 2nd straight victory, his 3rd win of the year, and his 7th career NASCAR Cup Series victory, and I believe his 3rd or 4th Super Speedway win. Ryan Blaney earned this win, in my opinion. Ryan Blaney had probably one of the top 5 cars most evening. He got up front. Of course, he got lucky. Unlike last week in Michigan, though, I do think that he earned this win. He had to basically hold up and defend a lot, and a ton of really, really good cars. So huge congratulations to Ryan Blaney, and this is definitely going to be a big momentum booster for Ryan Blaney going into the playoffs starting next week. Even though Ryan Blaney really has struggled, I think the fact that the last week he's been able to win and has been more consistent over the last 10 weeks, I think that's going to be a huge benefactor. So huge congratulations to Ryan Blaney picking up the victory. Now let's go through the race results, and then we'll go through the score of today's race. So Ryan Blaney picks up his 2nd straight win here at Daytona International Speedway. 2nd place finisher in the race would be Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher had a very, very strong run. It looked like he was actually going to be able to hang on. He somehow got through the wreck. Did a really good job getting through it. Gets a 2nd place finish. Looked like he was going to be able to steal a win tonight. Top 5, though. Very solid run. Great run for Chris Buescher. Bubba Wallace finishes 3rd. Bubba Wallace ran a lot of slide up front. Actually led quite a few laps in the event as well. I thought he was going to get a little bit lucky. I feel like if that caution didn't come out with 28 to go, I feel like Bubba Wallace could have been in a much better position, as I do think that caution really, really unfortunately hurt Bubba Wallace's opportunity to contend for it. But a third place finish, another top 5, second top 5 finish for Bubba Wallace. Very strong run for Bubba. Hopefully this team continue to build momentum, such since Kurt Busch is going over there next year. This is going to be really good to see Bubba get third. Ryan Newman with a solid top 5 finish. Ryan Newman ran a lot of the race in the top 15 and top 20. Good to see him get a solid top 5 in that 6 car. I believe this is his first top 10 in a very, very long time. His first top 5 or second top 5. So really cool to see Ryan Newman finish 4th. Ryan Preece with a solid top 5 finish. Very, very strong run for him. I think he got a little bit damaged in the end of the race, but a solid top 5. First top 5 he's had in a long time, so huge congrats to Ryan Preece on getting a top 5. Tyler Reddick finishes 6th. Tyler Reddick has, as of now, clinched a spot unless inspection does not go through. Tyler Reddick has clinched a spot into the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Huge congratulations to Tyler Reddick on getting a top 10. Tyler Reddick struggled a lot tonight, got some damage early, but was able to keep going even with the smoke happening. He still finishes 6th in tonight's race. Justin Haley finishes 7th. Another top 10 for Justin Haley. You'll love to see it. Alex Moniva damage finishes in 8th position. Comes back. Solid comeback for him. Chase Elliott finishes 9th in tonight's race. Chase Elliott got, I think, involved in the previous wreck. Chase Elliott looked like he had probably a top 2 or top 3 car most of the night. Really a lot of night looked like he had a top potential winning car in this race. But very, very solid run for Chase Elliott. He finishes 9th in today's race. BJ McLeod gets a top 10 finish. This is the first top 10 for BJ McLeod's organization, I think, this year so far. And really happy to see BJ McLeod get top 10. Of course, circumstances held him out. But this is also BJ McLeod's first career top 10 NASCAR Cup Series. So really good to see that for BJ. 11th place finisher Josh Bilicki. Strong run for him tonight. Eric Jones finishes 12th. Kurt Busch finishes 13th. Denny Hamlin finishes 14th. Denny Hamlin will not win the regular season championship. Denny Hamlin got involved in that last work, was not able to get enough points. He finishes 14th. Eric Almirola finishes 15th. Kevin Hart finishes 16th. Corey LaJoie finishes 17th. 18th place finisher Austin Dillon. 19th place finisher Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain looked really, really strong in tonight's event. He really gave it hell. And also back to Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon was really, really fast. Was putting together a very strong run. It looked like he was going to have a chance to contend, but those electrical issues apparently plagued him, and he got involved in that last wreck as well. Daniel Suarez finishes 20th. That team looked like they were going to contend for the win at the end of it. They were not really a factor most of the night, but they were able to get a top 20. Not a bad run for the team. Kyle Larson finished 21st. It's just enough to be able to clinch a regular season championship. Huge congratulations to Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson really was kind of irrelevant most of the night, but the fact that he was able to go out there and hold on and win the regular season championship, I think those 9 points he got in stage, well, 6 points he got in stage, and Denny Hamlin did not, was just enough to hang on and win the regular season championship. So huge congratulations to Kyle Larson on that. And this is going to be big because Kyle Larson is going to be going into playoffs now with 52 playoff points. That's going to be big for Kyle Larson. Chase Briscoe finishes 22nd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 23rd. Stenhouse had a pretty good run going. Unfortunately, got involved in some accidents late in the race, but unfortunately finishes 23rd. Joey Logano finishes 24th. Joey Logano had probably the best car most of the evening in the second half of the race. Unfortunately, his tire going down really cost him an opportunity, but hopefully, especially on the super speedway, so he'll continue to build a lot of momentum. Solid run for Joey Logano. Cole Custer finished 25th. Matt DiMenedetto finished 26th. Matty D was close to winning tonight. Was up front. Solid run for Matt DiMenedetto. Well, not a solid run. Not a great finish for him, but 26 is really all you can do. Anthony Alfredo finished 27th. 28th place finisher David Starr. 29th place finisher Cody Ward. 30th place finisher Martin Truex Jr. got involved in one of the later wrecks. Garrett Sisley finishes 31st. Joey Gase finishes 32nd. 33rd place finisher Christopher Bell. 34th Brad Keselowski. 35th place finisher Kyle Busch. 36th for Kaz Grall. 37th for Landon Castle. 38th for William Byron. 39th for Quinn Houff. And finishing last in 40th place is Michael McDowell. So now let's go ahead and talk about the overall race, and I'll give you my score of tonight's race here at Daytona International Speedway. Now, coming into this race, they did have a new package. I forgot to mention this, but they did have a new package where because of the Joey Logano fifth at Talladega, they decided to reduce the horsepower a little bit on these cars, and these cars were expected to be a little bit slower. I will say, even with the reduced speeds, this race was absolutely intense and absolutely outstanding. I won't say that this is one of the best Daytona races I've ever seen, but I will say this is by far one of the better Super Speedway races I've seen this year. Probably second best. I still think the Daytona race was better this year because there was a lot of single-file train racing at points in tonight's race. But when there weren't single-file train racing, they were side-by-side. It was awesome to watch. It was entertaining. I was getting up on my seat, and I was extremely entertained by what I was seeing out on the racetrack, and I really, really enjoyed tonight's race. So, for tonight's score, I am going to give tonight's Coke Zero Sugar 400 from Daytona International Speedway, I'm going to give tonight's race overall a 9 out of 10. If it wasn't for the train racing, this race would absolutely be perfect. But I do understand why there is the single file train racing up on the top line so they can complete last and get last. So I so completely understand that. But other than that, I really, really enjoyed today's race. And I would say that this race was really, really good and one of my favorite races so far this year. So, anyway, that is for today's race review from Daytona International Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications to notify when a video does go live on my channel. Next weekend, we're headed to Daytona. Next weekend, we're starting out the playoffs at Darlington International Speedway for the Southern 500. Tomorrow on my channel as well, I will be revealing my playoff predictions for the 2021 NASCAR playoffs. Who I think will win the championship and who I think will make the championship for later this year. So anyway, like I said, make sure to comment below, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment below your thoughts on today's race, and congratulate Ryan Blaney on winning the race, and congratulate Kyle Larson on winning the regular season championship. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content like this. Take care, everybody.